Welcome back to This Week in Auburn Sports. I'm Plainsman Sports Editor Eric Wallace.
And I'm Plainsman Assistant Sports Editor Kyle Van Fechtmann.
It may be a bye week on the Plains, but that doesn't mean there's no sports action going on, as both soccer and volleyball have home matchups. We'll start with soccer, who's off to just a really blistering start this season. They've moved out into the top 25 already, and after a 5-1 start, they went undefeated at the Rebel Classic last weekend in Oxford, Mississippi, defeating Minnesota 3-0 and Memphis 3-1. Freshman Courtney Shell was actually named SEC Co-Freshman of the Week for her performances, and they're just really hot. I know Coach Hop has been really harping on the defense a lot and how it's improved this season. I don't think they've given up more than one goal in a game so far, so it's pretty impressive to see what they're doing out there at the soccer complex. They actually have two games this weekend, one on Friday against Samford at 7 p.m., and then they'll return on Sunday to play Milwaukee at noon. So I'm sure that, and I've heard rumors that the American Outlaws that got together this summer, for the World Cup, they're getting together for a couple of the games. So it'll be interesting to see how they do this weekend.
Other than soccer, Bruce Pearl continues to sweep the Plains by storm, and Bruce Pearl wants you, the students, to get involved. Walk-on tryouts are this Tuesday. And that means a lot to Bruce Pearl, as him and his son were both walk-ons, so that really means a lot to him, and he wants as many students to come and try out and give it a shot.
And during his career, he's had a lot of really productive walk-ons, like Skylar McBee, Josh Bone. Yeah. He loves his walk-ons.
And other than that, Bruce Pearl also wants feedback for renaming the student section, which was previously the Jungle. And with a new coach coming in, he wants to start new with the new student section. So he wants a student section that isn't tame this year, and he wants just to start all over. So you can send your student section names, ideas to trg0012@auburn.edu. So if you have any feedback for that or any suggestions, definitely help Bruce Pearl out.
Yeah, I don't think he is opposed to the Jungle so much, but I think, he just wants some fresh ideas in there into the discussion. So, and moving on into other areas, men's golf and women's golf both kicked off their seasons this weekend. I should say tee off, shouldn't I?
It's tee off. They're not really kicking there.
No, but the women's golf team got their first tournament victory since 2012 this week at the Memorial Invitational out in Texas. And the men's, even though they didn't win the Carpet Capital Collegiate, they still had a very strong showing, and they ended up tied for third. So, it's very early. Nationals aren't till next year, but it's nice to see them start, and especially for Kim Evans, with what she's gone through with the cancer. It's nice to see them get back on the winning track and, bring home a tournament victory.
And as we all know, football isn't here this weekend, but we also have 3 home volleyball matches this weekend after they're returning from their tournament at Ohio State last weekend. And they're at home starting tomorrow against Troy. At Saturday, they're playing against Winthrop, and Sunday against University of South Florida. And the volleyball team is off to a solid 500 start, and they're looking to go up this weekend in Auburn Arena.
So even though, we mentioned there's no football game this weekend, but that's not going to stop us from talking about football. I know Coach Lashley has been talking in press conferences this week about preparing for the atmosphere out in Manhattan, because it's a sellout. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be a crazy environment on Thursday night. But what have you been hearing? What else have you been hearing from the coordinators this week?
At the press conference, Coach Lashley was saying this bye week cannot come at a better time. And last year's bye week came after the LSU game, and as we all know, after the LSU game, they got better as each week went on. So they're not only using this game to prep for Kansas State, but they're using this week off to get better for the rest of the season. And he also previewed Kansas State's defense. He said since him and Coach Malzahn have been here on staff, this is the best defense, the most well-disciplined and coached defense he's ever seen on tape. So they definitely have a challenge coming ahead in front of what they're saying is going to be the biggest crowd in Bill Snyder Stadium history.
I can't wait. It's going to be a fun game. Really interesting to see how they react to that environment.
He's saying this will show how mature his offense is, and it's definitely a huge test before they get into the tougher SEC games.
Absolutely. So even though there's no football game, I know we're all sad about that. Saturdays are always way better when there's a little bit of football going on. But it's still a busy weekend in sports down on the Plains, so make sure you go out and check them out and see how they're doing. If you're around, pick up our print copy of the Auburn Plainsman. We've got a great story. I don't know if you heard about the Harvey Update restitution situation. He's currently only paid $99 of the massive amount that he has owed. So make sure you check that out. Who knows if he's ever actually going to get that paid for. But,
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. But until next time, this has been This Week in Auburn Sports.